Hello everyone! My name is Brittina, and as always, I'm so happy to be here on Epic Reads to show my book look for Blood and Honey, the second book to the Serpent Dove trilogy by Shelby Mahurin. If you enjoy enemies to lovers romances, witches and witch hunters, and if you also enjoyed the first book, Serpent and Dove, then you gotta pick up the second book, Blood and Honey, especially since the third book, Gods and Monsters, comes out real soon on July 27th. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see how I put this book look for Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin all together, then please keep on watching. As always, I'm starting with a clean bare face and using my favorite primers to prep my face and eyes. With a little bit of color corrector, I'm going over any old acne scars, any redness, and any darkness under my eyes. Next, I'm using my everyday foundation and concealer only on my face since I'll be painting my neck and chest later. After all that, I'm setting everything with some translucent setting powder. I'm starting this eye look off with a little bit of a bright orange matte eyeshadow on the centermost part of my eyelid and some gold shimmer shadow on the outer and innermost corners of my eyes. With a black cream body paint, I'm tracing out my big wing liner cut crease, using my bottom corner lash line to guide my angle and my eyelid crease as a guide to place my cut crease. Once I have a shape I like, I'm setting it all by blending in some matte black eyeshadow. To tie the eye look in with the rest of the look later on, I'm blending in some bright matte red eyeshadow along the upper edge of my cut crease, on my bottom lash line, and I'm also sweeping it up into my temples and along my cheeks to act as a red blush. I lost some boldness of my cut crease after adding the red, so I'm just going over it one more time with more black cream body paint and black eyeshadow and smudging some of it under my lash line as well. I went ahead and did my other eye off camera, but once that's done, I'm filling in my natural brow shape with some dark brown eyeshadow. I'm also combing the hairs up and setting the shape of them with some brow soap. Once my brows are set and dry, I'm adding a little bit of white shimmer shadow to highlight my brow bone. Next, I'm using the same matte black eyeshadow I used on my eyes to contour under my cheekbones. After that, I'm dipping into some red body paint and I'm laying on a thick, opaque layer of paint all over my neck, chest, and shoulders. With my airbrush tool and a similar red airbrush paint, I'm spraying and covering up any streaks or bare patches. I'm also spritzing some of that red airbrush paint onto the contoured areas of my face so all the reds match. To add a little definition back into my body, I'm mixing a little bit of black airbrush paint into my red paint to start contouring my cheeks, collarbones, chest, and shoulders. Once everything is contoured, I'm setting everything with some heavy-duty sticky setting spray, and before it can all dry, I'm messily pressing in some gold leaf foil all over my neck, chest, and shoulders. For any of the spots where the gold leaf didn't stick, I'm using some gold cream body paint to fill in any of the bare spots. Next step now is probably my favorite, and that's glitter blood. Mwahaha! For my glitter blood, I'm using two different kinds of blood mediums. The first one I'm using here is a special effects liquid silicone prosthetic mixed with red glitter, and I'm using this to mark where I want my glitter blood tears to go. And before I mess everything up by adding more glitter blood, I first want to finish up my eyes. Here I'm adding a small gold wing line shape inside of the black cut crease and dragging my black line further into my inner corner. Afterward, I'm putting on some long fluttery falsies and hiding the lash band with some black liquid eyeliner and mascara on my top and bottom lash lines. Next, I'm using the same black cream body paint I used on my cut crease as a black lipstick. Once that's done, I'm moving on to my second blood medium, which is a concoction of my own making, composed of fake blood, cornstarch, and all the red glitter. Woo! When everything is mixed, I'm picking it all up with a plastic syringe and dripping bits of it from the corners of my mouth and along my chest and shoulders. Slight spoiler alert, the cover art as well as the title Blood and Honey were some of the main inspirations for this look, and I wanted to have the reds and golds of this book look represent those items literally, blood and gold honey. But the biggest and main inspiration for this book look comes from the main characters Lou and Coco, as well as the Dame Rouges and their special blood magic system in the story. Once I have all my blood drips marked out, I'm still not as sparkly as I would like to be, so I'm topping off all of my blood drips with some red craft rhinestones. And I'm doing the same with the glitter blood on my body. I'm also adding some chunkier red glitter and even some red sequins pieces and big red craft gems as well. After all the rhinestones, glitter, and gems are glued down, I'm moving back up to my eyes. If you look at the cover of Blood and Honey, you'll see this beautiful, oversaturated orangey glow around the gold dove filigree and black snake. To pay homage to this, I'm tapping some orange glitter on the centermost parts of my lids and on the center of my lips, along with some super shiny lip gloss. Next, it's time for our Lou LeBlanc wig, our La Dame Rouge headpiece, and our serpent necklace! If you'd like to see how I styled and made some of these pieces, I'll have a behind-the-scenes video on my YouTube channel coming soon, so please be sure to check it out! As always, I'm tucking my hair into a low bun and slipping on two wig caps and hairspraying both down as I go to make sure neither of them move around when I put the wig on. Once the wig is on, I'm clipping the ends of it back to keep the wig hair out of the way while I work and so it doesn't get stained with blood. Yet. Grabbing my airbrush tool again, I'm spritzing a darker red paint along the part of my wig and I'm slowly building up the color until finally adding just a little bit of black along the roots. Next step now is to blend my hairline in with the rest of the look with some more glitter blood on the lace and on my wig part. To help the chunkier glitter bits to stick to the wig, I'm just spritzing the painted areas of my wig with some more hairspray. As if I wasn't shiny and sparkly enough, once the wig lace is nice and blended in, I'm embellishing my glitter blood spots with some more big red craft gems. While waiting for the new blood and gems to dry, I added a glittery nosebleed off camera, and to help everything dry a little quicker without ruining the gold leaf or the glitter blood, I'm using my trusty old hand fan, which coincidentally also matched the book and the look! Woo! Once everything is dry and secure, it's time to put in some La Dame Rouge contacts. Ta-da! As well as my Lavoisin blood drop headpiece and my Serpent, minus the dove, necklace. But once all of those accessories are on, we are done! Woo! Here is our finished look for Blood and Honey, the second book to the Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahurin. Yay! I wanted to greatly thank Shelby Mahurin for this romantic and magical story. I'm eagerly awaiting to see what happens next in Book 3, Gods and Monsters, which again comes out July 27th of this year! I also wanted to thank HarperCollins Publishers for commissioning me for this book look and for always supporting my passion and my artwork. This was such a fun look to put together and even more fun to read. As always, thank you all for joining me. Let me know what book looks you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!